Hello and welcome. Today's episode is one that may feel a little bit familiar. I know that I can definitely relate, and this happens with so many of my clients. It's the story of the person, the soul, the human who knows exactly what they should do. And you may even feel what's true for you, but somehow you're not doing it. And this isn't to shame. And when I say not doing it, I even mean maybe just not doing it at the fullest extent that you're ready for. So that feeling of having goals, whether it's to do with abundance or health or self-confidence, the way you see yourself, the way you move through life, and you know what you want, and you feel that okay, it is aligned, it's true for me, but somehow I can't quite step into it. And if you are this person, if you can relate to parts of this, I know that you've read the books, you've done the workshops, maybe even you've done some of my workshops, you've been, journaling in the self-growth world, you've journaled, you've even felt it in your body, you've had deep ahas, deep epiphanies. But then life happens, right? And we can easily sort of migrate back into patterns that we used to do. We can fall back into thoughts that loop, all the things, because we're human and life happens. So when this happens, though, if you do fall into this sometimes, we start to often ask ourselves, why can't I just do it? What is it? Why? And I can relate so deeply in different areas of my life. But I remember a couple years ago, I've shared here on the show, I was working with a coach and it was I just want to go for more walks. Why do I just not do it when I know it's in my highest good? It's just a walk. It would feel good in my body. It always feels good in my mind. What the heck, right? And this is what we're talking about today. So I know you're here for big things. You've already moved worlds in your life. You've already transformed so much. And as we move forward into your personal goals, these types of things come up. So if you felt this, I promise you, you're not broken. You're definitely not lazy. You're not failing, nothing like that. You're simply learning the art of moving something from your head into your body, moving it from something into your life. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. And we're talking about why it's normal, why it means you're in growth, and most importantly, what you can do right now to start living more in that future vision, more in alignment, to move through what the heck, why am I not going for walks? Why am I not starting the thing, doing the thing, whatever it is? So we're going to talk about that and how you can do this safely, confidently. I love to talk about sustainably, because if something isn't sustainable, we're not going to stick to it. So we're really going to break it down today. I am so excited. We are closing the gap between knowing something, feeling something, and doing it, making it reality. And before we dive in, if you haven't already, grab a copy of my book, The Delicate Art of Transformation. The link is below. This guidebook will definitely meet you where you're at and help you in this personal transformation journey, because although I say delicate art, it is sometimes anything but delicate, right? We follow the pattern, the flow of the butterfly to go through the initiation into the goo phase, to have your own personal shift and into the rebirth. So this book really encapsulates all my teachings. If you resonate with my message and the way that I, share about the tools, the stories of growth and transformation, I know this book is going to resonate with you. As I say, it is packed with actual tools, perspective shifts, aha moments, and also my personal story. You'll learn more about me, my own personal transformation, and all of its messiness. And so I would be honored if you read the book. I'd love to hear what you think. And with that, let's just dive into today's episode. I'm really excited. So take a deep breath. Drop your shoulders, maybe grab a sip of water, and let's dive in. So something is true. Maybe it's a boundary that you need to set. Or maybe it's a change that you've been wanting to make and you feel that desire deep in your body. You've discerned that it's in your highest good and it is authentically what you want for yourself. Maybe it's more abundance. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's to buy a home or to become healthier, expand the business, start the business, do something drastic, move somewhere, or just even in the case of, most of my clients, although we are going through all these things, it's making that change in our personal life to show up for ourselves, to feel more resilient, more strong, more, the next version of who we really are, more centered in who we are, loving ourselves more. So you have this desire. It's in your heart. You can feel it. You might even see yourself in your mind's eye, like drinking the water, doing the thing on the laptop, making business things happen. And yet you feel in your real life like a resistance. That can show up like self-sabotage. That can show up like confusion, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to move forward. It can feel like, you're kind of flailing around, just trying things, but nothing's really moving forward, or we're just at a total freeze and no judgment. This is what we're talking about. This is what happens. It's all good. Me too. So here's the thing is that is not a sign of failure or that you're not good at doing it or not good at moving forward. It's almost like I hear people say, I don't have willpower. I don't have the motivation you have, whether they're talking about me and my business or they're comparing themselves to someone else. And it's really not about motivation. And this feeling of like, I know what I want to do, I'm just not doing it, or I'm just not doing it at the full expression. This is your biology. This is your nervous system. And you guys, I know for those of you that have listened to these episodes and, been along for some of my growth, this was a huge difference between last year and this year is I knew all the things. And I don't actually mean that I know all the things, but just like you, self-growth. I've been doing shadow work. I'm aware of limiting beliefs. I'm, knowing the things, receiving information from my channel, learning things from other teachers. I've been doing this. I joke that I was, from the womb, I've been doing self-growth literally since I was a teenager, gone to counseling, gone to therapy. I know a lot of things. But I did not have the ability, or I had not yet learned how to bring it into my body. So it's annoying when it's like, oh yeah, that's just lack and scarcity. And like in my brain, I'm like, oh, I know I'm focusing on lack and scarcity, but I couldn't connect it to making it real in my body. And that's what we're talking about today. There's a gap between knowing and doing, and it's nothing to do with failure. It's nothing to do with motivation. I know you, and when you're fixated on something, when you're lit up about something, when you're in creative mode or whatever it is, you can go, you can create, you can act. It's not about laziness. It's a nervous system response. When your nervous system is involved, which it is with everything, your habits are wired. Your self-concept is wired in a way into your body, what you know of yourself, what you expect of yourself. And it's very, as much as we could talk about it and you could journal about it, it's the body that needs to catch up with the brain. And the trauma we've had is stored in the body, the limiting beliefs, again, who we know ourselves to be. It shows up in our posture, all this stuff. But instead of feeling like you have to fix everything, you have to learn how to, I'm trying not to be repetitive, bring it from something you know into something you're experiencing in your body firsthand. So it's like your body hasn't yet known you to be this person. So as you start to have big dreams, as you start to expand into new territory, a part of you will start to shut down that goes, that's uncertain, that's scary. Who's going to listen to your podcast? Who's going to do this, right? Or it just shows up as you're scattered or you just can't, whatever way. We all have different flavors, but we're not moving forward like we know that we want to. We feel stuck in a way. So often we try to push harder, we try to think more, plan more, but it's not about thinking, it's about embodying. And again, that is the difference. That last year sent me so deep into a pile of mush that it's almost like it forced the lessons into, I don't know. But anyway, I practiced my tools. I kept practicing nervous system work, bringing it into my body, and that is what changed my life. It's dropping the wisdom from your head into your body. You listening and all my clients, you guys are smart. Again, you've done a lot of self-growth. You have a lot of knowledge about things. But when we bring it from our head into our body, it becomes, I want to say, into our cells, and then it becomes the default. And then we don't even have to try so hard because those tools are there. But it's that process of bridging that gap. So often we're stuck and then we try to push harder. We need to figure out the plan. We need to think more. We need to map out next week. But it's not really about thinking. It's about being able to expand our capacity to hold what we want now, to practice holding bigger energies without maxing out. So when we talk about closing this gap, we have to talk about the nervous system, because your nervous system holds those patterns, the trauma, the resistance, as I was talking about. It's the body saying, wait, too much, slow down. I need to adjust before we can move forward. So as I was saying a minute ago, even if it's like you're expanding and you're going to go for that TED talk, or you're going to get out there and you know it's aligned, even that, even if it's positive, that is also, it creates a nervous system response. It puts us into sympathetic, which is a reaction, because it like maxes us out. It's like, wait a minute, I have to be big and brave and confident. And as much as it seems like a great idea, right? Like that is the nervous system going, wait a minute. That's not who we know ourselves to be yet. And with the nervous system, we could go into all the science, and I teach this with my clients, and I've actually got something really exciting coming up where we're going to go deeper into this whole embodiment thing. So stay tuned for that. But you can think about it like the nervous system. When trauma happens when something is too much, too fast, too soon. So whatever it was, it's too much for your little brain to take on. It was too much for your body. It's too much, too fast, too soon. So anything that resembles that now still sends us into stress. Into stress, even if it is something like, I'm going to put my book out into the world. I'm going to, audition to be in this massive play on Broadway. I'm going to ask someone out on a date. It can be really great and exciting things that even are right for you. But your body is saying, wait a minute. Hang on, we need to adjust. We need to, what's the word? It's like recalibrate, or like equilibrium. Like we need to recalibrate basically to this big desire. And that is nervous system. It's not just limiting beliefs. It's not just, something you need to do and figure out and map out. When we get frustrated at ourselves, and I see this all the time with clients, getting frustrated with yourself for not doing what you know is right. And it comes from such a good place. And even in that, it shows that you're scrappy and resilient and you want to move forward. So when you know it's right, it's your nervous system saying, I see you, but I'm protecting you. Like, let's integrate this slowly. And I know you guys want to move forward fast, but slower in this way actually leads to it being faster long term. So I'm getting the image of like a car. If you were speeding up a car, like accelerating, if you slowly accelerate, you're going to get there faster than if you gas it and then brake and then gas and then brake. It's like it's like slow and steady wins the race. It really does end up being quicker in the end. But instead of getting frustrated with ourselves and then trying to just start again, find a new plan, we're going to act tomorrow, we need to come back into our body. So your nervous system isn't the enemy. It's not just like it's stopping me, it's blocking me. It's actually your guide. And it's your job to come back into your body now. Give it permission to feel safety and to find that equilibrium before giant leaps. So I also want to talk about something that it gets tricky here. So shame comes into the equation often. So we know something, right? We know, as I'm saying, what's right for us. When I was talking to you about, in the intro, about wanting to exercise, wanting to just go on walks, I'm like, what the heck? I'm even telling myself it can be a 10-minute walk, no pressure. So why am I still not doing it? Why am I still withholding the thing that I really know is right for me, right? So we know it's right for us. We know what we should do. And I'm sure you've heard all the clever things about shoulds. Stop shoulding all over yourself. But we do have that internal voice that goes, even if it's as self-growth or as enlightenment, like I should be able to let go. I should be able to not focus on this. I should be able to, make enough money for this and this. It feels like ego in the highest self suit, as I used to talk about a lot. You should do it. It sounds like it's in your best interest, but it is shame. And then there's also the other should, where it's just mean. It's that inner critic, it's that shitty roommate that is literally just going like, you should be farther ahead by now. So whatever flavor of should it is, whether it's flowery or, it's stinky, either way it's shit. But when we hear that, we know it's right. We know what we should do, and we're not doing it, we often shame ourselves. So I should have handled that better. I shouldn't be acting this way. I should be farther along by now. But shame, you guys, is so heavy. It is the lowest vibration emotion. Guilt and shame are at the on the Hertz vibration scale. Shame and guilt are the lowest vibrating molecules, vibrating emotions. So it means like they are just so heavy in the body. And you can feel that, right? Because even if you're angry or something, it's fiery. You're fired up. That is even a way higher emotion than something like shame. Shame is so heavy. And unfortunately, it's something that humans do. We do this, but spiritually, I feel like our spirit team, if they could eradicate one emotion, of course, every emotion has its value and it's the source of healing and all that stuff. But if they could just erase shame from our life, I feel like that is what they would do, because in some ways it's pointless eternally because it's not true. I should be doing that. I should be doing that. It's just not true. And it causes us so much pain, so much anxiety, so much depression. But it is a part of this human experience and we all have it. So what I want to talk about for that is that shame is not a motivator. Shame, like if we say, I just got to get my shit together, like you really want to start noticing the flavors and the strands of shame that come in when you're trying to go forward into something, when you're trying to create something. Shame is not a motivator. It is not an effective vehicle to actually get you to your goals. Because even if you shamed your way into going to the gym today, the inner talk that it took to get there will not get you into the full expression of what it feels like to go to the gym because you love yourself and it's part of your routine and you're, lifting heavier, you're noticing it, you feel better. That shame is not in line with that. It's not the same picnic. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why picnic, but it's just a different vibe. You're not invited to the picnic, shame. This is a health picnic. And okay, I got to bring it back. But it will not get you the distance. It's also not part of the highest self vision, like when you imagine yourself in your fuller expression or your highest self or where you're headed in 3 months. Shame is not a big role in that, right? Shame actually keeps you stuck in your old patterns. So that often actually stops us from integrating what we quote unquote know we should do, because along with that, I know I should be meditating. I know I should be looking after my body. I know I should be making more money by now. Along with that is shame. It's like two parts of the same coin, two sides of the same coin. You're wanting to move forward, and equally strapped to that desire is a thick layer of you're not enough. You're not doing enough. You somehow are flawed, right? So shame is heavy. It's not going to get you where you want to go. So instead of shame, if to bridge this gap, what if we approached it differently? What if instead of judging ourselves, we slowed down and we invited our body to walk into it slowly? Or we slowed down and walked ourselves with tools, intelligently, with care, into something slowly. I know that I'm saying it in my language, but if you've read Atomic Habits or you've heard about habit stacking, it's essentially the same thing, right? Little things done over time add up, because little actions start to give you like dopamine hits of like, I'm doing it. And sometimes they lead to bigger actions, but it's not because you're forcing it, it's because you're on a roll. And that is momentum. So instead of shame, what if we looked at it like, okay, we're not going to invite that voice to the picnic. We're not going to, judge ourselves and really give credence, or we're not even going to listen to that voice right now. What if we invited ourselves to just walk into it really slow? Because your body and this lived experience is the portal, and it doesn't respond to pressure the same way that it responds to the same way that your mind does, or we think our mind does. If you're like stats and, you're this age and the market's doing this and, if you get in now at 32% growth and your mind's all, yeah, your body doesn't respond the same. Your body responds to experience. We ease into it and sort of train it in a way with repetition. It responds to gentleness. It responds to consistent guidance. It responds to compassion. So moving from the head knowledge into the body wisdom isn't a big jump. It's a series of small intentional steps. It's a series of integration. So I also want to point to, for myself, with that whole, like, I just want to go for walks, what the heck thing. What I realized in there is there was a deeper growth assignment there. So if you can relate to I'll just share what the lesson was. It's not going to be the same for everybody in all situations, of course. But what I realized is I was shoulding. So I was saying like, I should, it's in my highest good. And that was the first problem. But what I also realized through rock bottom moments and total frustration was that it wasn't really about the movement at that point. This was in 2025. So whatever point it was, but it wasn't just about the movement. It wasn't just about a 10-minute walk and how good that will feel. It was a deeper journey of showing up for myself. And that was a huge perspective shift. And I've shared it here before about how I realized I wasn't really yearning to practice going for walks. I was on a journey of fully learning how to show up for myself and to realize my needs mattered. So when I realized that and that clicked, I actually realized there was less pressure to go on a walk every day. And actually, as I would approach that walk, I would put my hand on my heart or just, wherever felt right. And it was like, I'm going to give this gift to my body of just going for a walk because I want to show up in love for myself. And that's what I'm actually practicing, is following through on myself, giving myself what I need, what my body needs, what it's telling me, like in my highest good. So that's what I realized. I'm actually on a less about I need to exercise 5 times a day, I need to walk. It was more about learning to show up for my needs. And that really helped me too, because often there is a bit of a deeper layer under, when we are in this cycle. So whatever way it is, walking ourselves into it. And then what I started doing was literally practicing every day. I'm going to practice showing up for myself in some way, whether it was a meditation or a bath, or maybe it was a meal that I made that was so healthy for me. It felt good. It was taking my vitamins. It was Monday night yogas. It was stretching. It wasn't all those things every day. I'm not even going to pretend that it was. It was slow things over time. I walked myself into it. And then it became more normal. So when we need to drop from the head into the body, from the head into the heart, when we know there's something we need to do, but we're not doing it, first I want you to just become aware of especially what came up as I'm saying this. Is there a deeper lesson in this for you? In your intuition, or you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's totally about worthiness, or it's finding my voice, or it's tied into this fear I have. And no judgment on that. So we breathe and we say to ourselves, like, this is scary. I'm going after something. It feels scary. And I can admit that my system starts to shut down. That's okay. That's human. Me too. Every single thing I do, I oscillate between, am I doing this? Am I shutting this down? So me too. So just almost like not calling it what it is, but feeling into it's okay to do this. And if you want to call it self-sabotage, it feels shamey. Let's just say, this is tough. This is scary. I'm like got one foot in, like we're freaking doing this, and one foot in, oh my God, I'm scared. And that's all right. So bring awareness to it without the judgment. Maybe ask yourself if there's a deeper assignment here for you. Maybe it is about worthiness and confidence and all this. And then we start to ask ourselves and our body low pressure actions that we begin to like go, you know what, I've shared with you guys with my first retreat. It's like, I'm just going to send one email. And everything was so scary and I was so terrified, but I'm like, I'm just going to reach out. And then it was like, I'm just going to see the dates that are, there. Just an email. I can do an email, and I would regulate. I'd use my tools. One little action that still scared me, but again, you move so much faster than when you just take it as one big thing. And I'm like, I need to host a retreat. I'm scared. So now I'm going to stop doing that. But like, I almost made myself move forward consciously and with tools in low pressure, not pressure, but just enough stress. I don't know if you know about the window of tolerance. I teach this to my clients, but it's about practicing our tolerance of how much stress or stimulation or stimulus to our nervous system, how much we can handle using our tools, staying in our body before we, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, etc. So basically, I just practice. I can do one email, kind of scary, use my tools, go for a walk, celebrate myself, take a break, take a day or two off. I'm just not even going to put the pressure on myself. And then I kind of go like, okay, let's do one more thing. And that was how it became. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? I know it's cheesy, but when we ease ourselves in, we end up making way more progress than we would have. So when we have this gap, we notice what we're feeling. We notice we're scared. We're scared because this means a lot to us, because we really want the thing, because we really want our lives to turn out in a great way. We really want this success in this area of life. We really want it. It means a lot. So that can bring fear. That can bring, uneasiness, because it's like, oh my God, like I really want this. It's important. And, calling it what it is. I'm experiencing fear. I'm experiencing smallness. It doesn't matter what it is, meaning it's not bad. When you feel that and you can acknowledge it and then give yourself that love, and it's okay. I can feel fear and I can bring myself comfort right now. I can bring myself love and understanding. It's all good. And then asking yourself if there's maybe something a little bit deeper. How I was saying about the exercise, it was really about meeting my needs, having my own back. I was in a season of just starting to learn how to do that. And it was a huge part of that. So you can ask yourself if there's something deeper there, and then taking micro actions, taking low stress or just enough stress that you can, regulate, go on your walk, do a workout, go, out into the forest, pause for a second, take an action, and then take a moment to gather yourself, take a week off, take a day off, whatever, and practicing this. This has us learn this window of tolerance, and then we do get to bounce back sooner. But it's not really about trying to bounce back sooner. It's just about consistently taking those actions and walking yourself through it, checking in with your body. And really starting to see that when something comes from the head into the heart, it's really about that embodiment piece, bringing it into physical life. So when we say embodiment, a lot of times some people may even check out, or it doesn't quite, it's like it's such a vague word, but embodiment is bringing it into your body. So when you start to be abundance in your body, be confidence in your body, not just thinking about confidence, not just learning about confidence, not just, not just mentally rehearsing it, not just visualizing it, but actually bringing it into your body. That is when, even whether it's manifestations or the energies align, that's when your goals start to really pick up steam, is when we start to embody it. And we can't embody that energy that is more expansive than what we currently are operating at. So we need to train our body. And that comes down to, that is what nervous system work is. Walking ourselves home, having our own back, noticing tension, noticing ease, noticing excitement, resistance, and having the tools to truly regulate yourself. So you're not just waiting for the mood to pass. You're not just talking yourself out of it and then kind of moving forward, but then the same thing comes up again. And then we have these patterns. When someone says, I have a looping pattern with avoidance or self-sabotage, again, it's just our body going like, too much. We're not quite there yet. But when you train your body to get there, then we feel more comfortable taking actions. We're more likely to pick up the phone and call the person or reach out for our business or do the thing that we want to do, because we can learn how to breathe into that. We really learn how to embody that energy, and that is your next level. Because if you tune into what you see for yourself in your next level, I know it's not just the money or just the organization you're running or the partner you're going to meet. It's not just that. It's who you be. Let's zoom in on that for a second. That next level you in 3 months, in 6 months, that next level you, it's not just the bank account, it's who you be, right? It's how you nourish yourself. It's the energy you bring to a room. It's how much you love yourself. It's how much you have your own back. It's how unfuckable with you've become. It's how you now have your own back instead of like having that inner critic that would do the push and pull. Instead of having one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake at the same time, you're gassing it. You're going where you want to go, because you've learned how to bring it into your body. So the amazing part is you already have so much knowledge. You're definitely not a beginner. My clients are never beginners. And even if you feel like you're a beginner to some of this work, meaning you've always been introspective, you've always been into growth, you've always been into maybe therapy, counseling, the things I was talking about, we've, been attracted to self-development clearly. So you already know so many things. You're way ahead. So now it's time to bring it into the body. And if you've struggled with things like overstimulation, chronic pain, anything, similar to me with an eating disorder, body image issues, weight issues, inflammation issues, gut hormones, I know I'm being general, but for those of you that have struggled to be in your body, this can be the absolute missing piece that changes everything, because you already do know so much. You're not starting at the beginning totally unaware of limiting beliefs and what your wounds are. And it doesn't mean that you have everything figured out. I don't have everything figured out, but you're definitely not a beginner. And as you bring it into your body, we truly create a place where nothing is holding us back. And it comes down to conscious choice. What do you choose for yourself? What is available to you now? So I want you to imagine that area of life you've been thinking about where you know something, you really want something, you feel like at this point in your life it's time for it, but you haven't yet done it. And just imagine yourself breathing into that energy of that next level, acknowledging it's okay you feel scared, it's okay that you feel unclear or, unable in some way, whatever it is, it's okay, totally okay. Breathe into that, give yourself that love and compassion, and imagine yourself taking one doable step today, something that your body can handle, absolutely. Like we don't even need to push it. Is it drinking more water? Is it sending one email? Is it posting in your business or, whatever it is, taking one step? Maybe it's just researching flight prices for something that you're doing. One step, something your body can handle. And then take a deep breath into that when you do it and put a smile on your face and say, this is growth. We are going to stay kind with ourselves. We're not going to try to push ourselves to the max so that we max out and then shame ourselves when we max out. No, we're going step by step. And I want you to just imagine and recall how you already know that step by step adds up. If you went to the gym for even just 20 minutes and did something a personal trainer's like, do this 20-minute routine, but you did it every day, anybody would say, of course you're going to move forward. Of course you're going to physically, because you're lifting the weight, you can't not move forward, right? So every micro action really truly does add up. With physics, it's not just fluffy self-growth, really does add up. So do something today that your body can handle. Do something tomorrow. Notice how that feels. Notice the subtle shift when you stop shaming yourself for not being perfect and start just moving into steady, empathetic, present action. So I hope that this resonates with you. And as I mentioned earlier, I am working on something truly special, truly unique. It's a wild and wacky idea. It's forming in the background. And if you resonated with this, you are the person that this is for. And I can't wait to share about that. It's a way to integrate into the body, the nervous system, but we're also combining food, movement. Your body is the portal, and we are learning how to look after ourselves from the inside out. to support our journey with things like our health or our weight or manifestation, success, holding the frequency that we want to hold in our body. So stay tuned for that. It's coming together behind the scenes. I'm really excited. I've got a list started if that just piques your interest, and you can leave your email, and as it forms, you'll just be the first to know. So I'm really excited if you want to get on that. It is feels really, really big. And when I can share the wacky wild idea, you'll see why it's wacky and wild. Like truly, it's like nothing I've ever done before. But anyway, very excited for that. Remember, it's not about doing it perfectly. And when you catch yourself saying like, I know I shouldn't do this, that's your signal to stop. Or maybe in the contrary, it's I know I should be doing this. That's your cue to stop. Maybe say stop shitting on yourself to yourself, but no shame for the shame, right? It goes so deep. No shame for the shame, and don't shame yourself for that shame. Okay, take a deep breath. Just identify, right now I'm feeling scared. Too much on my plate. I'm feeling kind of nervous. That's okay. Take a deep breath into the body. And then ask yourself, what can I do today that I can totally do? I can take a magnesium vitamin right now. And that's been something that has been really beneficial to my health, as an example. Or going for a walk right now, or sending one email. Walking your body into what you know. And you'll notice very quickly, as I mentioned earlier, you start to feel confident because you're like, holy shit, look at me go. I'm going for a walk. I'm sending an email. And then you'll probably be called to even do something bigger. But again, the goal is not to push it. It's to be safe with your system, encourage yourself, and practice showing up for yourself. And this builds self-trust. This is self-love in action, and it leads to all these things that you've been knowing about. The self-growth, the personal transformation, the manifestation. It's right here in our cells, in our body. So I can't wait to hear if this resonated with you. I would love to hear. And again, if you have not got a copy of my book, I would be honored. You're going to love it. You're going to laugh. You're going to feel it. You're going to get some tools to move forward. I know you're going to love the book. It's called The Delicate Art of Transformation. The link is below. Also, if this again spoke to you, you can get on the wait list for that offer just to hear about it as it's being released. I am so excited. And with that, let's just take a deep breath as we exit this episode. So happy to spend this time with you. And until next time, be good to yourself. Namaste.